Alright guys, welcome back to this HTML and CSS video tutorial. Now in this video we are going to be talking about how we can style our HTML with CSS, the cascading style sheet. Now we have three ways whereby we can three different ways whereby we can style our HTML using CSS. The first one we can do is to use the inline type of styling. Also, we can use the internal type of styling. Then the last one we can use is the external type of styling. Now the inline type of styling affects normally only elements alone or a block of tag alone. So let's say I have on line 8 over here, I have this is a heading, and what I want to do is I want to change the color of this to, let's say, a different color. Okay, so let's see, and this is a heading, is over here. So I want to change the color of this is a heading to a different color, from black to, let's say, red. So what I can do is I can introduce the style which is used in styling CSS, and I'll bring equal to, and after that I need to introduce my double quote like this. Now after this I'll say the color of this should be color red. Okay, after that I will terminate that. So Ctrl S to save. Now when I go to my browser and reload the page, you see now I have this is a heading affected, changing the color from black to red. I can also do same for this is test one for the paragraph. So I'll say once again star equals double quote, and I'll say this one color should be gold, then terminate that. Now Ctrl S again, and when I reload in the browser, you see the color or the text has been changed from black to gold once again. Okay, so that is one way to do your styling in HTML using CSS. Another way is the internal type of styling. Now the internal type of styling is whereby we open a tag for CSS and we do all the styling inside. So to do that, I'll come inside the head. You can do it anywhere in your HTML file, okay, but normally it's done in the head. So I'll come inside the head and I'll introduce my style over here, and after that I will give myself some space, and inside here from line 6 to line 8 I can do all my CSS styling in here. Okay, so in here I can say the body of this should be, and this body that I've selected over here, or this body that I have introduced over here, is called the selector. Now there are different ways in introducing your curly braces. Some programmers love this way, some also like it on the same line. I love it on the same line, but because of the tutorial, to make it very simple, I'm going to stick to that for now. So I can say the body should have a background color of, let's say, what color? Okay, green. Okay, so I'll type green in here. Now Ctrl S to save. Now when I move to my browser and reload the page, you see I have a background of green now. Okay, so this is another way to do your styling in HTML. This is the internal type of styling. So let me go ahead and clear this as we now know. Okay, now the last way we can do this is to use the external type of styling. And with the external type of styling, we are going to create a new CSS file, and after that we are going to link our HTML to the CSS, and whatever styling that we will do in that CSS file will affect the HTML file. Okay, so let me go to file, new file, and I'm going to save this in my HTML folder which is on the desktop. So I'll save this as index.css. okay, and after that I need to click on save to save it there. Okay, so now I have my index.css over here, and now I can do some styling here. So I can select the body, and as I said earlier on, this is called the selector. Okay, so I will select the body, and I will say the body should have a background color of, this time around, yellow. Okay, and I need to terminate that. Ctrl S to save. Now let's go ahead, reload in the browser, and nothing is happening. Okay, the background color of yellow isn't working. Why? This is because we have an HTML file over here and we have a CSS file over here, but we are not linking the HTML file to the CSS file for them to have a relationship. Okay, so in order for this to work for our HTML file, we need to link it. What we are going to do now is we are going to use the link tag to do that. So I will come here and introduce my link tag, and what I'll say is link, and I'm trying to link the HTML file to the CSS file. So link relation, there's rel equals, now the relation is style sheet, so I'll say style sheet. Okay, after that I will specify the type, so I'll say type equals text / CSS, and this can be ignored with this modern CSS, but previously you have to specify the type. But as CSS has updated to 3 now, you can leave the type and continue with the href, which is very important. Now this is going to reference where your file is and it will link it to the HTML. So href is going to be, remember, the name of my CSS file is index dot with the extension CSS. Now after that I need to close that, okay, and I can self close that too by introducing the backslash over here. Now let me go ahead, Control S to save, and remember we are styling the background color over here to be yellow. Now let me reload the page, and as you see, it's now working for us. So these are 3 ways where we can link or we can use CSS to style our HTML. So that is it for this tutorial. Meet me in the next tutorial as we continue learning HTML and CSS in details. Bye.